Hey, what is going on, you sexy people? This episode is brought to you by Gold Thread. Now, if you haven't heard of Gold Thread before, Gold Thread is an outlet of filmmakers and reporters that basically do anything that have to deal with Chinese travel, food, and culture, and it's dope. But check this out. If you go to the link in the description box below, you click that and subscribe to their channel. Through that link, you can win a MacBook Air. They're giving away not just one, but 3 MacBook Airs. All you got to do, click that link, and from that link, subscribe to them and check it out. You can win a MacBook Air, baby. So go ahead and do that. And if you have the time, check out their channel. They have some dope content. I've actually worked with them before, and you could check that out. We basically went to a Sichuan restaurant, and we ate Sichuan food, and we talked about Chinese culture and things, and it was dope. So give that a go and win a free MacBook Air, baby.
In a 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. Surprise, motherfucker. Welcome to another episode of a GeniusBrain. I am one of your hosts, Joe Jitsukawa.
And I'm David So.
And today we have some special talks. But before I get into that, I want to talk about something even more important. Have you ever kicked anybody in the middle of your sleep?
No.
I fucking kicked the shit out of my dog this morning.
Oh, really?
Yeah. Dude, I had this dream. So... Dude, I fucking went, blah! Like, I fucking... Man, I felt so bad. Like, I fucking sidekicked the shit out of my dog. So, like, in my dream, me and Jess, it was like post-apocalyptic kind of world. We were in a garage. And then I jumped on top of a car to get to the second level. Like, I had to grab, like the stairs were broken. So I had to, like, jump on a car. And from a car, I had to, like, jump on, like, do some parkour shit. And she grabbed on my leg. And then she started talking some shit. And I'm all like, let go. And then she's like, why don't you tell me that you had rations in your pocket? And I'm like, bitch, I was gonna share that shit with you. and then she kept tugging on my leg, and I was like, I can't get to the other side. Like, and then she's like, well, I can't jump that thing. And I'm like, well, let me go, and I'll lift you up, right? and then I kicked down, like, you know when someone's like I'm just like, you're just trying to kick down like that, and I went boom, and I woke up, and both of my dog went hang, and she jumped off the bed, and both of my dogs exploded. She didn't wake up though, and both of my dogs jumped off, and I was like, I'm so fucking sorry, dude.
You just kicked the shit out of him?
Yeah.
Dude, fucking Mariel this morning. You know why I was actually late today? So I was gonna leave on time, but turns out Mariel, the moment she wakes up, she goes, I had a terrible dream last night. And I'm like, about what? She was about you. And I'm like,
was she mad at you? Was it one of those dreams?
Yeah.
Oh, man.
So she woke up mad at me, not from what I've done in real life, but what I did in the dream. And she was so upset. And I was like, yo, what the fuck? Yo, this is the second time you got mad at me about having a dream about me, dude. And so her dream was that I went into her, look, it's not even in the dream, it's not a big deal. In her dream, I went into her bathroom.
Yeah.
I took a huge fucking shit and I messed it up. And I said to her, she goes, it's not a big deal. And from that, she was screaming at me in the dream, saying it is a big deal that I put shit all over her toilet. And she was like, if you're not going to clean it up, I'm going to leave you. And I was like, whatever, go ahead.
You're so disgusting.
Yeah. I was like, what the fuck? Like, and then she got mad at me this morning because I said, well, it's not, even if it's in the dream, it's not a big deal, even in the dream.
Oh, no.
Yeah. And then she's like,
that's probably what pissed her off even more.
Oh, for sure. But I was like, wait, why would you? So you're telling me that in your dream, you were going to leave me because I left a fucking street mark in your toilet? That's all it takes? What the fuck, man?
She acts like you cheated on her.
Yeah, dude.
Oh, man. Jess was mad at me because she had a dream that I fell in love with this Indian woman.
What the fuck?
I know, right? Like, it's just bizarre. She was like, yeah, you were just madly in love with this Indian girl. And then like, you cheated on me with her. And I'm like, well, first of all, like, well, Indian girls are pretty.
Yeah.
I just don't know many Indians.
Yeah.
So I don't know, where did I find her?
Yeah.
Like, maybe I was at an Indian restaurant.
That's the only way you're gonna fucking
I know, right?
girl.
Like they have regular jobs and shit too.
I thought about this too. Like, if I had, because I've had dreams about other women before.
Yeah.
But in the dream, I'm not with Mariel. I'm single.
Yeah, it's like you're back in time or something.
Yeah, like
it's a different life.
Because I don't think I should feel guilty about that, because in the dream itself, I'm by myself. Like, she doesn't exist. So that's not really cheating.
You know what I think dreams are? It's when you are in a different dimension. Like, you know how, do you know the parallel world?
Oh, yeah.
So, but like you're there, you're visiting there.
You know, dude, when I thought about that shit, that's fucking crazy, because I just talked about this on a previous podcast too, where I catalog all these weird dreams that I've had. So when she had that dream, I had a fucking weird dream where it was about a girl, and I don't remember who the girl is, but when essentially, like, I walked up this winding staircase into like one of those empty type of warehouses.
Yeah.
But when I walked up the winding staircase and I got into this room, it was kind of, it looked like one of those reformed LA lofts.
Oh.
And in those LA lofts, like all the stuff is like super modern. And then I lay on this L couch, and on the L couch, I'm laying down, and I look to my left, and there's a girl next to me. And then she's like very friendly with me, and she kind of seemed like somebody I knew, but it's one of those things that I feel like it's probably somebody that I saw in passing.
Yeah.
And
your subconscious remembered
it. So I'm looking at this Asian girl. She's very pretty. And she looks over at me, and then we're just talking and whatever. And then all of a sudden she leans over and she just kisses me. And I'm like, what the fuck? Yeah, this is kind of weird. But, you know, I'm not with Mariel in the street. Like, I'm just a single dude. Like, I'm just traveling around LA.
Yeah.
And then she starts kissing me, and then she starts cuddling up next to me, and I'm like cuddling with her. And then next thing you know, the dream flips, and then we're in that LA loft, and then I'm taking photos of her. I'm a photographer.
Yeah.
And I'm taking photos of her. And then after I take photos of her, I go through my computer to look at the photos. And every photo that I have of her, she doesn't have a face.
Oh.
Yeah.
Scary.
Like, yeah. And I'm looking through the photos, and where the fuck is her face?
Where'd her face go?
Yeah. So I'm looking through all the photos, and her face is blank, and it's like kind of swirled and smeared like an oil painting.
It's like that face filter.
Yeah.
On Snapchat where it fucking warps it.
Yeah. So I was like looking at her photos. I was like, I can't find her face. And I look up, and she has no face. And then I wake up.
It's like Slender Man and shit.
Dude, it was fucking creepy. That's what I was dreaming about. And she was over dreaming that I shit in her toilet.
Oh.
Yeah.
That's her nightmare. Yeah. That you lift a caca streak on the fucking toilet, dude. That's a nightmare.
I had a real nightmare. She didn't.
Damn.
She just had a
to
fucking
her, that's
poop
a nightmare.
Yeah, her nightmare is me fucking leaving Dookie.
And her nightmare can come true.
I think that's what got her, because it felt too real. Because I did leave a streak stain in her toilet once, and then she got mad. But then I cleaned it after. I got the thing and I cleaned it.
How could you get mad at something like that?
And why would you break up with me before? That's the part I didn't get. Like, why break up with me because of it?
Not a big deal.
Yeah.
Not a big deal. What do you mean it's not a big deal?
She said, in the dream I said, I'm leaving, and you were okay with it. I was like, that sounds pretty real.
Over a caca streak?
Yeah, if you started screaming at me because I left a streak stain in your toilet, I'd definitely leave. What the hell? What a funny girl. She cracks me. She's fucking funny, dude.
That's dope.
She's such a weirdo, dude.
Okay, the topic of today.
Oh, yeah, that's right.
The topic of today is Mr. Jesse Smollett.
You know, like, I didn't even look into the original Jesse Smollett thing until recently, just because I heard enough about it from other people, and then a couple of like just looking through some articles.
Yeah.
And so the premise of it is that prior to him being caught for this, he did a setup where he said, where was he at? What state or what city? Chicago.
Chicago.
He was in Chicago, and
Yeah.
he said that a couple of dudes in MAGA hats came up to him. They threw some kind of chemical on him, put a noose on his head, and said a bunch of like racial epithets.
This is MAGA country or some shit like that. And
which already off the bat sounds really suspicious.
yeah,
It sounds really suspicious. Like
it sounds like out of a movie.
Yeah.
This is like 1970 and they beat up a black guy and they're like, this is our town, you know, like get out of here.
Yeah.
It's like, because it's, first of all, it's Chicago. So, I mean, if this was like Indiana or maybe the border of Illinois, I get it. But like, I don't know.
Yo, you know who actually was skeptical about it first before it was revealed that something happened? Fucking Tim. Tim was like,
really?
Yeah, Tim was like, yo, this stuff, he goes like, I want to be for this guy, but everything sounds too convenient. Like, it sounds weird. You know what I mean? And so Tim always had like a weird feeling about it. And the next thing you know, there's evidence. And Tim's like, I fucking told you. Did you see that
he's
shit?
a good detective.
Yeah, he just had like a weird gut feeling about it. I think my weird gut feeling, well, he said he was going to a Subway at midnight. No black people eat Subway like that.
If he said Popeyes.
I was like, I've never seen a single black person at midnight eat a Subway.
Yeah, that's a white truck driver's thing to do. If it was a white truck driver going to Subway in the middle of the night, it's like, all right.
Subway, fool. I don't think so.
That's
dude.
true. If it was like an Asian guy going to Subway, nah,
Yeah.
pho restaurant,
Yeah, pho restaurant, fucking Asian bistro.
Yeah.
I was like,
Hong Kong cafe, Denny's if they're desperate, you know.
But they found out through the police department did investigative work and things just weren't adding up.
Yeah.
Right. So he
also sent like he got this letter.
Oh, that's right, the letter.
And the letter that was like out of the movies, like a serial killer magazine cutout.
Yeah.
Like, you know, I forgot what it said. And then they had some kind of powder, which was like a crushed up Tylenol. So, you know, it was like anthrax threat, whatever.
It's like somebody who gets caught in a lie. So they just keep lying even more.
I am a victim of his.
Yeah. So it's like,
Damn.
he goes, okay, well, I did this. So maybe I should make a fake letter, cut out letters, just like in Val Kilmer in that fucking bad Batman movie. Where the Riddler did that shit. It's like, what the fuck is this guy doing, dude? Doesn't make any sense.
And why is he a target? Like are white supremacists watching fucking Empire and they're like,
exactly.
we're getting that motherfucker right there. You know, like I would assume that a black politician or fucking, I don't know, Al Sharpton or, you know, one of those guys, the black rights, you know,
like
leaders or something.
Yeah, is he like a huge voice and representation for the black community? Is he like outspoken about that shit? So why would he be singled out of everybody?
Yeah, that was kind of weird.
Yeah.
Because I would probably trust like just a random black dude off the street more than like a guy that's like in a black.
He's like super
content.
Yeah,
you know?
First of all, he's like super clean cut. You know what I mean? Like he's like super clean cut. He's light skinned. Like I think he wouldn't be the prime suspect for something like that.
Yeah.
You know, I don't know. It just seems a little weird.
I just think they wouldn't know who he is.
Yeah, because I didn't know who he was.
Yeah.
Like I think Empire is a relatively big show, but I think in our group of friends too, and even like my black friends, like they know of Empire, but they didn't know.
So it's not just the urban nod. Maybe it's a southern, like, I don't know, like
maybe just in LA it's not that big or something.
maybe. Yeah. I don't know. Because I didn't know anything about the dude until like this all came out.
Yeah, like who the fuck is Jesse Smollet?
I didn't know.
Yeah.
It's not relevant to me, but it's pretty nuts how everything kind of played out.
Yeah.
Because whenever racial shit does go down like that though, you go, oh, again?
Yeah.
Like you don't doubt it. You don't doubt that it's not real.
Yeah.
Like for me, I believe that it was happening. I was like, oh, poor guy.
Yeah. Well, he kind of played it too big. That's like me saying like, okay, well, last night I went to a Burger King and two white people in MAGA hats picked me up by my ankles and they Japanese bound my feet and told me to walk with the teacup in my hand. That's what this sounds like.
They forced me to fucking eat my own dog and shit, you know? Like it's pretty extreme, right?
Yeah, it's like really fucking extreme. I'm like, okay.
Like he got something out of a history book and then did that. And I mean, there is some real racism out there, you know, some real shit. Like, you know, I was listening to this one podcast by Siggy Jackson because I was like listening to the whole Michael Jackson thing, right? And right here in California, they were one of the first black families to move into Encino.
Oh.
Yeah. And then they, you know, had people tell them like, what are you doing here, N-word?
Yeah.
Like, and then yell at them and be nasty. And then like all of their white neighbors that were cool, they got called like N-word lovers, stuff like that. And what ended up happening was once they found out they were the Jackson family, the Jackson Five, and related to all of them, that then they were like, oh, that's cool. Like, hey, can I get a ticket to your uncle's concert? And like everyone was fine. Yeah. And then, but this was, I don't know, this was a long time ago. Like, you know, it's like, you know, I don't know when, but it's like, it's not recent, you know, but when they were, I think what he was trying to say is like, even in California where you think it's a liberal, accepting, inclusive state, like it wasn't that way not too long ago.
There was an area near Sacramento called El Dorado Hills.
Yeah.
And I found out about this through a friend. And I guess like he had a friend who was trying to buy a house out there. But when he was buying the house or the property, he looked through the contract or whatever before he bought it. And there was a clause still in El Dorado Hills where it said that people of color couldn't move into El Dorado Hills.
Oh, did you know the suburbs was an actual thing to get It's like for white flight out of the city.
Oh, really?
Yeah, because minorities and black peoples, well, mainly they couldn't own cars. So when they started moving into the cities to get to be closer to their jobs and stuff like that, white people didn't like that, mainly because of the difference in culture and way of life, right? So they wanted like an area that was gated and stuff. So a lot of suburbs and gated communities was a way for them to have their own lifestyle, but then they can commute to work to the city. I was watching this whole shit about it. I was like, dang, I didn't know the history of it was that. Because I remember so Gardena, California is a highly now it's a lot of black and Mexicans, but back in the day used to be a lot of Japanese farmers.
Yeah.
And they told me the history of it was back then, the South Bay, a lot of that area was farmland. So now it's all covered in suburbs.
Oh.
But when I say back then, I'm only talking about 1950.
Oh, shit. That's not even that long ago.
It's not that long ago because my friend's grandpa owned land there and all that. And he was telling me about the history. And he was like, well, there were things called, I forgot the name, but it's this rule, right? And it's called a something town. Yeah. But there's this rule that like when the sun goes down and it's like sunset, then all the black people have to go. So during the daytime, black people can come and they can shop and they can work there and they can do whatever. But then when it turns like, it's curfew or whatever, the sun, it's sunset, and then they have to go back to their neighborhoods and stuff like that. But back then that, like the Compton and all the areas that are like the hood, like before, there weren't that many black people. It was like, white people, whatever.
Yeah.
And then all of the Gardena area was farms. And then Torrance, the neighboring city and the beach cities, they wouldn't rent to non-whites. So, yeah. Well, I mean, even Asians, you know, like, because back then, Japanese people were like, poor farmers, right? But until the 80s, that's when like, what we're witnessing today with rich Chinese mainlanders coming in and buying up all the real estate, that was Japanese people in the 80s and 90s.
Oh.
With Toyota, Honda, all of these big companies starting to move into America. So they would send all their like executives out to the California. They would just buy up all the property. And then that South Bay area started to have more affluent Japanese people, Palos Verdes and all that stuff. But yeah, I mean, that's after the civil rights and after they had those laws of like, you can't do the rent thing.
Yeah.
You can't do rent based off of if you're not white or whatever.
Yeah.
Right. Yeah. But it's very recent. Like a lot of people told me these stories that are still alive today. And like, well, we have a family friend who grew up in the Midwest and he had it even worse because during elementary school, like, right after World War II or during or whatever, they would have full grown adults chuck like rocks at them as they're kids, and they would have to sprint home as soon as the bell rang. They would have to run all the way home because like whoever saw them on the street, like these guys would just start chucking rocks. Adults, kids, everybody. Damn. Yeah, stupid Jap, get the fuck out of here. Yeah. And then so what his dad did was like, he was like, well, they're poor farmers out there. They're like, we can't just get up and move, So his dad bought them 2 helmets, like straight up, like
what the fuck?
Yeah. So at least like when they go home, they won't have their head damaged.
Yeah.
So every day after school, him and his little brother got together. They put their helmets on and they fucking booked it every day. They ran home. Yeah.
That's fucking crazy, dude.
Yeah. And then like all of their Asian friends would come to school with a big tag on their shirt that says, I am not Japanese, I'm Chinese. Yeah. Because they would get fucked up because, Asians look the same. So they don't know.
Yeah.
So they're just like, hey, I'm Chinese, I'm Japanese, I'm not one of the enemies.
Oh, yeah. Shit, that's fucking crazy.
Yeah.
I didn't realize too, like, it's not that, it's only like one generation back too that kind of experienced this stuff. So it's still relatively new. Maybe it's because like a lot of people didn't talk to me about it growing up.
Koreans are new immigrants too, right? So, I mean, you guys did go through whatever, but you don't have great your grandpas,
Yeah.
and here you have more stories of like Korean War.
In Korea.
Yeah,
Korean War, yeah.
Because I have Japanese American relatives
Yeah.
that tell me about like what happened and all that shit.
Because I only have like one uncle that talked about how he used to go to this school called Elk Grove High, which is still around there till this day. But when he went to Elk Grove High, he said like people used to old ass motherfucker. He said that people would come and park their horses there.
That's so old.
Yeah, he's old, but Sacramento was a farm town, so I can see how that wasn't that. It's not that common. Like
Did your high school have a farming like?
Yeah, we had our Aggie club.
We had that too because Gardena used to be a farm town.
Oh yeah, we had all that stuff. So he's talking about how back in the day, where he was like the only Asian kid that was in the football team in Elk Grove High.
Was he big?
He's pretty violent, dude. This guy's a fucking violent motherfucker. But he has old man strength. But this guy beats my ass. You met him, the fucking talkative dude. Remember on Thanksgiving?
Yeah.
He told us this story. He goes like, back in my day, I was the only Asian guy in Elk Grove High. He goes, these motherfuckers, they used to call me chink and pull back their eyes and make fun of me. You know what I would do? I'd bring my nunchucks and I'd beat the shit out of them.
Dude, these old guys are no joke.
Dude, I was like, what? He was explaining to me. He was like, dude, I was the only Asian guy in that school and everybody tried to punk me. So he developed a relationship or a reputation of just being a violent motherfucker.
Well, you had to be. It was survival.
Yeah.
Right?
And that's how a lot of these Asian gangs started because of that bullying mentality.
Yeah.
And that's how a lot of these gangs start because people eventually get tired of being picked on. And so there's always strength in numbers.
Well, even some Asian gangs start because Asian Americans pick on them. Like fobs. Shit.
Yeah.
Like a big one was like after the Vietnam War, the Vietnamese refugees.
Yeah.
They, they were like all the Asian Americans were picking on the fobs.
That's
and then they got together and they made Asian boys. Yeah.
That's so crazy because like I remember like some of these dudes told me stories of like when their older brothers who were, they used to be gang, they're reformed now. They found a wife, they have kids, but they were talking about stories of like, they would tell us, back in our days, like we had to do it or we would just get bullied all the fucking time.
Yeah.
Like it wasn't even one of those things where we were trying to be tough. It's just, we came from a war-torn country. Like I saw my uncles, my cousins, everybody getting killed. So if you come up to me and you're talking about you're going to beat me up, I'm going to fucking cut your head off. It's like, oh shit.
My God.
So it's a different type of violence.
Yeah. I mean, even with white folks too.
Yeah.
Like, I think it was just tougher.
Yeah.
Cause I was talking to Jess's uncle. He's like 89. Well, he just passed.
Yeah.
But he was telling me when he was in high school, like if he had beef with somebody and the teachers knew it, his dad was a teacher, they let him they're like, hey, you two, you end this right now. Go. And then like they'll let them duke it out.
That's some Hawaiian shit, dude.
Yeah. He's like, they don't do that these days anymore. So, maybe it's just back then everybody was tough. Like everybody was crazy.
Yeah.
Like everyone was, they just, or maybe more barbaric is the word.
Yeah, I don't think words were an option. It's just
but what he said is there was a lot of honor too. Like they duked it out and then they're like, okay, no more,
That makes sense to me because I saw that in Hawaii a lot. Like the first time I ever went to Hawaii, I saw I was at a bar with Sam and them.
Yeah.
And there's this dude just saying, "What's up? You want beef, bro? You want beef?" It's like, what the fuck is this?
You're talking shit in Hawaiian. It still sounds nice.
I know. You want beef, bro? I was like, man,
I want spam musubi.
I was like, the fuck, this motherfucker work in the kitchen or what's going on? But beef just means like you want to fight or you got a problem with me. But they went out to the parking lot. They fucking duked it out. They were just swinging on each other. One dude got fucking knocked down. They pulled him off. It was like, what's up? They didn't really do much after that. They got up. They fucking shook hands. The dude bought him a beer and they moved on.
And that's how it should be.
I was like, whoa, you can't just like talk shit to people. Like just, if you're going to say some shit, you got to back it up. And they did at least try to back it up.
Yeah.
He got his ass beat. But they kind of squashed it and move on. And this was like 7 or 8 years ago. And I heard it's still, they had that mutual respect where it's just like.
It's their culture. Yeah. I mean, I don't know if it still goes on like that, but I feel like it depends on where you're living and who you're around.
There's a bunch of mokes and shit. They're just fucking just duking it out.
Yeah.
But I thought that was wild because I haven't seen that in a long time. It's been a while since I've seen something like that.
But we're also away from that.
Yeah.
And we're like older. We don't go out at night.
Oh yeah.
Whenever I go out at night, I'm reminded of like, oh,
I get nervous.
I don't go out because of these drunk fucks that always want to fight. All that stuff.
It's pretty prevalent, man. When I had a cousin that came here to LA, and then she's super young, so she wanted to go out, eat, drink, and go to these clubs. I didn't go to the club, but a couple of my other cousins went with her, but I left.
Yeah.
But because like the moment you walk in that line, there's already a bunch of dudes looking at you. It's weird. It's like, what the fuck are you looking at? You know what I mean? But they're just
tough guys.
They're sizing you up.
Yeah.
I'm like, what are you sizing me up, man? Like, what the fuck is the point of this, dude? But they're just looking at you like almost as if you're looking at the girl that they're with. It's like, nobody's looking at your fucking ugly ass girl, dude. Like
they're like a 6. Yeah. Like in their little town, she's like the hottest thing they've ever seen. So they have to keep her protected and shit.
Dude, there was this joint out in Sacramento called Pilares. So if you're from Sacramento, you guys know about Pilares. It's like an 18 and up lounge, but it's technically a club. But there was always these like Asian thugs there. I had a friend who fucking got into a brawl inside Pilare, and this fool came out and he had like some blood on his hand. I was like, yo, what the fuck happened? I fucking stabbed this motherfucker up. I was like, you stabbed somebody? This fool, he stabbed somebody with the fucking fingernail clipper. You know the
what?
the fucking.
And he's bragging about that?
That's what I'm saying. I was like, you disgusting fuck. That fool probably has an infection now, you disgusting bastard.
He has toenail grease all up in his body.
Oh, dude, that place was so fucking ghetto, dude.
That is, I don't know.
But that's the type of environment I don't know what it is, but I think when you just smash a bunch of just young people with just high testosterone and
alcohol and no purpose.
Yeah.
They're just dumb.
Yeah. I've never liked clubs though.
Me neither. Well, I did because I like seeing girls dressed up.
Yeah, well, that's what I'm saying. I think like
and I like dancing. I
only went to clubs. I think it was a huge peer pressure thing for me. So because my friends wanted to go club and they wanted to go drinking and dance.
Yeah.
You know, once you drink, like it's cool. But you know, for me, like after a while, I think I only probably maybe enjoyed it for about like a year or two.
Yeah.
But after that, I was over it. Like I just didn't.
Oh,
want to
you
do
know what it
anymore.
was? It's because I went with the people that fought.
That's why you.
Well, because they're over there fighting. Sometimes I get in, whatever. But I don't feel like the tension. The worst was when you go in and then you have to leave and you spent like 30 minutes driving.
Yeah.
And you're like, I just stepped foot in this motherfucker, man. Or I was just talking to this girl. What the fuck, man? And then they're out there fighting. And it got bad, man. It got to the point where like they got too crazy and it was just senseless violence, and then they weren't just throwing hands anymore. They were like shooting and fighting.
Yo, remember when we used to go to clubs and like when you had to go to clubs out here in LA, did you have to dress up? Like you had to wear a collar shirt and shit?
Oh, well, you have to because there's dress code. Now it's
Not
very
anymore.
lenient
It's
now.
super leisurely, dude.
Yeah.
Like you don't have to wear a collar shirt.
Well, because
whatever.
back then they knew everything was gang related. So they were trying people to not like, they didn't want people to wear their colors. They didn't want people to like, you know.
It was like no dress shirt,
Yeah.
no dress shoes. You can't even come in.
And they wanted that upscale look, even though like early 2000s, it still looked cheap. Everything was swap meet shit, you know?
That shit was, I guess it was kind of fun back in the day, but you didn't even drink much, but I used to drink a lot.
I didn't drink, but I did drugs.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I think you did way worse than I did. I just drank a lot, dude.
Well, because I can't drink. I don't enjoy it.
Yeah.
Yeah. Man, I had this one friend. He's completely sober, right? He recently started drinking in his late 20s, but he wanted to go to clubs just to fight. I was like, come on, dude. You can join a gym or...
Yeah.
Every time he's like, you gonna go to the club? And I'm like, so you want to pay $20 so you can start fighting somebody inside of a club? You fucking crazy ass.
Dude, it's so funny because I think that if I grew up with better people around me, I don't think I would have gotten in that much trouble. Just because like those are the people that I related to. So I have a friend back at home. We used to go to this place. I think she's in jail now because she was like selling weed when it was illegal. But she had a shit ton. She had like a sativa shit.
Yeah.
And that's like when sativa wasn't even that big. Like it just started popping. So she was like growing in that shit. All in her backyard. And her name was Mama Wendy is what we called her. So she had this house. And in Sacramento, when you go down this road called Bradshaw, it's just a bunch of like farmland.
Yeah.
And then there's like random houses. So she had one of those homes.
Oh,
But
with a lot of land.
Yeah. So she was one of those ladies that would allow young kids to come through and just party and enjoy.
Oh, that's dope.
Right? So people just be doing drugs and drinking and
Yeah.
shit. And I didn't do drugs or anything else like that. But because my friends would go there, so I would be kicking it with them. And every fucking time without fucking fail, there would be a fight there. Every fucking
They're gonna
time.
fucking ruin the spot.
Yeah, so I'm there, and it would always be on some shit like where, because we knew Mama Wendy very well. So Mama Wendy, we always wanted to be, you know how like thugs are very respectful towards like people they really like.
Yeah.
So for we would be there, and then there'd be some random people trying to roll up and come through, but you know drinks aren't free. We don't know who the fuck you are.
Yeah.
So there could be 30 or 40.
So they're just like crashing the party.
They're trying to crash the party. So without fucking fail, somebody would bring somebody to come through, and the next thing you know, they're like, let's go. I'm like, fuck, man. And I'm a big guy. Yeah. So I'm like, okay, let's do this. And then we all had to get into a fight. And it was just like, fuck, man. So I stopped going to that place. But she's in jail now or some shit, I hear.
Damn. Yeah, man. I don't know. So sometimes I feel like when I think back, it's like, wow, what a different life.
Yeah.
I have friends still in it. They want to go out, have dinner. But they're all grown now. But some of the guys, they're still doing time, man. One of my buddies, this was the stupidest thing too. This was after the club. Everyone was kind of drunk, sobering up, and we were eating sundubu in K-Town.
Yeah.
This guy looks at him weird. They get into a yelling match. The other guy didn't want to back down. He pulls out a knife and he starts stabbing him in his throat. Cameras everywhere.
What the fuck?
Yeah.
That's fucking crazy, dude.
I fucking ran out of there. I was like, you guys are fucking nuts, man.
Yeah.
And then the last draw for me was we were going into a parking lot after the club, and then we were going into a park. Well, first we were going to go to a restaurant, and then one of the girls doesn't like this other girl, so they got in a fist fight, and the security kicked us out. So we went to another restaurant, but in between that, someone inside of there was a rival to one of the guys there, so they called his buddies. Yeah. And as we were driving out to the next restaurant, which was across the street, once we parked, we got out of the car, we got shot at. That's crazy, I was like, dude, I just want to have dinner with my friends. What the fuck?
Yeah, it gets to that point too. And when I was going to church, I wanted to be a youth minister.
Yeah.
So it got to that point too, even where like I don't even really kick it with these people anymore.
Yeah.
But when you see them out of nowhere, you're gonna say what's up.
Yeah.
Right. But just even that small affiliation, you can get into trouble just being around these people because of the stupid shit that they do. Yep. And it's the dumbest fucking thing. So I shit you not. So I was taking out my church kids to go bowling, right? I'm a fucking youth minister in training. Yeah. And so I'm taking these kids out to go bowling. I see one of my homies from back in the day. I'm like, hey, kids, keep bowling, whatever. There's a couple of chaperones there. I go out. I'm like, what's up? Dude, as I say what's up to him, right? Fucking dudes roll up and they just start fucking squabbling right there. And I'm like, yo, what the fuck is going on?
Oh, shit.
And so people are getting jumped.
Yeah.
And this isn't a really great bowling alley area, but it was during a time of day where it was nothing was supposed to happen. Yeah. And it's the cheapest spot, and our church didn't have a lot of money. So these dudes just start squabbling. Fucking cops come. I get tackled. I'm a pastor. I'm a youth minister.
Yeah, but you're guilty by association. Yeah, because you're there. They don't know who started what. Yeah. They just got to grab you and assess the situation.
And I'm freaking the fuck out because number one, I'm thinking somebody's going to get shot. Somebody's going to get stabbed. And I'm a fucking youth minister at this point. And I'm freaking out. I get tackled. And cops are so fucking mean, by the way. Obviously, it's a very bad situation. Yeah. But I remember this cop fucking tackled me. And he was like, stay down, faggot. I'm like, how do you know my sexual orientation? I was like, why is this guy calling me a faggot? Like, I thought about it after. But yeah, we're sitting there. But I'm cool because like the other dudes, like, you know, they put you to the back of the car. We're all sitting down. We're cuffed, you know, and real quick. And these guys are like, yo, he's not even a part of this. Like, I'm a youth minister. My kids are inside. Yeah. And so all the guys were like, nah, he's not a part of us. Like, he's just, I'm like, my kids are inside. Like, I'm a chaperone. I'm a youth minister. Yeah. So they fucking let me go. They uncuffed me. And I was like, the fuck is going on? That shit was so weird. I was like, dude, even if I talk to one of them, this happens. And that's what I mean by you just have to be around a good group of people. Yeah. They don't give a fuck. Yeah. People don't care. Yeah.
Mm-hmm. But when you grow up with them, I think like for those that are listening and you have friends like that and you're kind of stuck and you don't know where to go, I remember feeling more comfortable with them than with like people that are like Old Navy people. You know what I mean? Like just like regular people. Like when I started hanging out with regular people, I actually felt intimidated.
Oh, really?
Not like scared of them, of course. It's like not fitting in. You know, like when you're so used to a certain kind of world and like what's cool to them, you know? And then when you start going to college and you start hanging out with like normal people, right? Like I feel like I'm not good enough, or it's weird, dude. It's almost like you're poor and you walk into a rich restaurant. You feel out of place.
You know, that's what it felt like for me when I went to UCR.
Oh, really?
When I went
UCR's ghetto as fuck, though.
Exactly. But that's the crazy thing,
Yeah.
right? So like just that university life, because a lot of like UCR students at that time, it was a bunch of kids who couldn't get into UCLA and they would go to UCR. Now, mind you, I'm not sure if like academia is something that they care about a lot, but there were a lot of people who grew up with money that went to UCR.
Yeah.
I don't know what that life is like at all. So I had the hardest trouble like relating to a lot of
Yeah.
these people. So the people that I can relate to, actually, he just texted me today. Like, for example, there's a friend named Tony. Tony grew up in Gardena like you did.
Oh, yeah.
I could relate to Tony.
Yeah.
Now, Tony's kind of a dweeby dude, right?
Yeah.
So Tony, he was like a magnet kid.
Yeah.
He was one of those like hyper intelligent magnet kids. He did the whole, like when we graduated college, he's so fucking smart. He got this S2K and he wanted to figure out how to, I think he turned it was an automatic at the time, and he turned it into a manual car, and he just figured it out without looking up at anything.
Oh,
So he
shit.
could disassemble some shit and
Oh,
rebuild
fuck.
it. Fucking smart as shit.
That's
So-
crazy.
but because even though he's like highly intelligent and kind of a dweeb, shout out to you, Tony. Sorry you're a dweeb. But because he grew up in a very similar type of like lifestyle and area,
Yeah.
I can relate to him way more. We could talk
Yep.
about things. I could like just two people being poor together can relate way more than somebody else who grew up and had more than me.
Exactly.
Yeah.
And I think beyond race, how you grew up, like the type of culture, like not even just like ethnic culture, but like a lot of culture is like because it's created because of like how much money you make.
Yeah.
You know, like service industry families, like, you know what I mean? Blue collared or whatever. That's why I think I connect way more with people that used to be broke and then they made something of themselves versus someone that was born and raised in that rich crowd. Cause like there's a ton of Asians that are like rich or upper middle class. And, you know, I do have some friends that are like that, but I could never get too close because we can't just see eye to eye sometimes. It's just different.
Yeah, their world, how they solve problems, it's different than us.
Yeah.
Like how they tackle things, it's way different.
It's different. Yeah, how they think, their idea of loyalty. I mean, their idea of like what your commitment to friendship is and all that. They don't see eye to eye. Like, I mean, we don't see eye to eye. They do in their world, you know? So, and I think that's what prevents us from being super close. And there might be some diamonds in the rough. And I think it's the same for them too. But for me, like, I'm just more comfortable around people that's like lower middle class or they grew up that way and they're not anymore. Cause I don't connect with people that stayed that way.
yeah.
It's like, but if you were that or you grew up that way and you went to college or you elevated in life somehow, like for example, Jess, my girlfriend, right? Like she used to tell me that the guys that she dated never wanted to listen to her past, and they made her feel like she was tainted, that she wasn't this like pure person with a normal nuclear family and
Yeah.
shit. Like they didn't want to hear about her broken home family and all that shit. And for me, I feel closer to her because of that shit. Because I feel like, yeah, because we relate to that, and I'm all, oh fuck yeah, you had to struggle like that too. Like that brings me closer to you, versus like if this girl's hella sheltered and she's never been through anything close to what I've been through, and then she might take shit for granted, then I'm like, I don't know. I can't connect with her the way that I could connect with this girl. You know what I mean?
Can I tell you guys something? Can I tell you what this Genius Brain podcast is brought to you by? I think it's Skillshare. Multiple notes for no damn reason. So if you guys don't know what Skillshare is an online learning community for creators with more than 25,000 classes in design, business, and more. You'll discover countless ways to fuel your curiosity, creativity, and career. So basically what I'm saying is that if you have a new passion out there, you have a side hustle that you want to start or begin, this is a great way to go at it. Skillshare basically gives you that knowledge at your motherfucking fingertips, my friends. So for me, the classes that I'm taking right now specifically have to do with photography, because photography is something that I like to do on the side. And because I did it through an apprenticeship back in the day, there's a lot of I guess you could say like fundamental basics that I don't know. And going through these courses helped me out. And it kind of adheres to the way that I like to learn, which is on my own time. So a lot of the times when you go through traditional courses or classes, sometimes it's a little derived and it doesn't teach you the things that you want to learn. What with Skillshare, it has like your own library and you could, fast forward or rewind or learn however the hell you want. So that's why I fuck with Skillshare a lot. So remember, people, join the millions of students already learning on Skillshare today with a special offer just for my listeners. You get 2 months of Skillshare for free. That's right. Skillshare is offering Genius Brain listeners 2 months of unlimited access to over 25,000 classes for free. To sign up, go to Skillshare.com/brain. Again, go to Skillshare.com/brain to start your 2 months now. That is Skillshare.com/brain. When you guys are on there, let me know the courses that you're taking. If you like it, let me know in the comments below, because you know what? I fucks with it. I'm using it. And trust me, people, my photo skills is getting up there. Skillshare.
Dude, even something small like going to a restaurant and watching some of these people that I met in college and how they treat people in the service industry was a big factor for me. Because I knew a lot of people that were in the service industry. My parents own their own business and we do customer service and customer relations. So when I, like something small, like for example, let's say I got a dish, and some people might think this is, me just not speaking up about stuff, but how I see a lot of things when I go into a restaurant is I see small business owner trying to pay their rent.
Yes. And, you go, well, okay, I'm not in an American restaurant. I'm in a immigrant owned restaurant. I'm in their world. This is their standard. Like, I know what their standards are, and I'm not going to be able to address this with them. Like, you could assess the situation. Yeah. Like, for example, if you got a fucking, I don't know, like cilantro, when you ask for no cilantro or whatever, and then it comes out, you're like, motherfucker, I said no cilantro. You could ask them, but they might argue with you, but you got to be okay with that. Yeah. You know, because it's like time and place. Like, where are you at?
Yeah.
Because I would be pissed if that shit happened at an American restaurant. Yeah. I was like, you could understand English, motherfucker.
Like, like I definitely have that empathy towards like smaller business people, you know, and even something small, like going out with a friend and they, let's say I got a dish and it came out like 5 minutes later than theirs. Yeah. That doesn't bother me. No. You know? But I've seen like friends who are like, yo, I can't believe your dish is coming out way later. Let me talk to the manager real quick. And I'm like, what? I don't know if that's really worth it here in this situation. You know what I mean?
Like, what is that going to do? What is that going to fix? You going to get a discount? Like, what the fuck?
Yeah. And I don't know what it is. Maybe it's like for them, it's like a sense of responsibility that they feel like they need to fix that restaurant or whatever it is. Yeah. But for me, I see it as, you know, if I make this person, let's say like they even mess up one part of my dish and I tell them to throw this out and make another dish, I'm like, fuck, that's money out of their pocket, but I could eat this and still enjoy it. Yeah. So I weigh out stuff like that. But if somebody who grew up where they thought that, it's not like so much that a silver spoon is in their mouth, but if they were told that the whole world works this way and it's supposed to work for you only, then they're not going to have that empathy. And that's something that I think that we have being like number one, like people who just didn't have a lot of money. Yeah. We understand what that struggle is like. Yeah. And we understand that food comes from somewhere. Right. That's why sometimes I have issues with Yelp reviews. Like they rate these restaurants that are family owned businesses, right? And let's say like they didn't like their food they thought it was okay, right? But for them, they write a review thinking like, oh, this is just a hobby of mine and I want to review restaurants. But they're also not thinking, it's like when you gave that restaurant a 2-star, right? 2-star because you thought that it wasn't as good as a different Thai restaurant or something.
And you brought their 4 to a 3-star. That could be potentially hundreds of customers that you're preventing from going to that restaurant.
Exactly. Yeah. It's a pretty big fucking deal, but people don't see it like that. So for me, when I write these Yelp reviews, and I still do every now and then, I don't use my name, but I either give somebody a 4 and a 5, or if you get a 1, it's because I
hate you.
Like you
go to hell.
Like your food was bad. You called me a chink or
something really bad.
Yeah, but other than that, I'm like, if it was average food, just leave it alone. Leave the restaurant alone. You know.
I think I've only written 3 1-star reviews in my whole lifetime. Yeah, and I can remember every single one. One was that fucked up restaurant that closed down. Remember those mean ladies?
Oh, the Korean restaurant.
LA Family, Korean barbecue.
LA Family,
they were so mean.
Yo,
dude.
Family my ass, dude.
That was fucked up. They closed down.
Rightfully so.
Right. And we tried to accommodate to them. Yeah. I was trying to service them, be nice as fuck, and then they were just insulting. Yeah. Like talking shit to our face and laughing at us. And that was some fucked up shit, dude. That was one. Two, I caught a restaurant cheating. Because I was counting my macros, so I had a food scale with me.
Yeah.
So I went to this crab joint, right? And then, I would weigh out my food. And I'm like, oh, fuck. Like, this crab leg is like half the I'm supposed to get a pound of crab.
Yeah.
This one's only half a pound.
Oh shit.
Right? And I told him like, hey, just to let you know, I don't know how you guys are measuring this, but this is half a pound of crab.
Yeah.
They immediately got defensive.
Yeah.
They were like, no, it's a pound. Your scale is tricked. It's wrong. And I'm like, hey, I'm still gonna pay the same amount. I'm just letting you know that this is half a pound. And it says here, I'm showing you on the scale. They're like, no, you're trying to trick me with that scale. And I'm like, all right, dude.
Yeah.
I'm like, I'm not even, okay, fuck you. You know, that's all I said. I was like, fuck it, dude. I'm just going to write a review. And then I weighed out all the seafood. It was all skim, dude.
Yeah.
And I was like, why are you such a piece of shit? Like, why do you cheat your customers?
Yeah. Well,
and then get defensive. Because you know how he could have remedied it? He could have been like, oh shit, really? Go back, fill it up. And guess what? You could have cheated maybe your other customers.
Yeah. Maybe not me.
But fix the problem. But I don't know. He took it really offensive, and I was like, I'm not even trying to like fight, dude. I'm just
I'm gonna pay the whole bill. I just want to let you know, like, you guys mismeasured this shit.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And then another one. What was the other one? Ah, shit. I guess I didn't remember all three.
Yeah.
Yeah. But I could. If it didn't leave a big impression, I don't care.
Yeah.
It's not a big deal.
Yeah, and like, to some of these Yelpers' credits, like when they do bring up big problems, it does help, but I just wish sometimes it's like you should have addressed it to the restaurant instead of writing it on the Yelp, and they can't even help fix the problem that you had.
Yep.
All you had to do was say, excuse me, like, is this how it normally is, or blah, 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 blah. And if they can't remedy it, then maybe you could talk about that during your Yelp review. Yeah. But the problem is
people don't give an opportunity to fix a problem.
Yeah, because restaurants aren't perfect. People aren't perfect. You're not perfect. We're not perfect.
And if the food was just disgusting, then you have, I feel like, write it, I don't know.
Yeah.
I do think that restaurant culture, because we're a melting pot, is very different in America.
Yeah.
And you can't apply, I always think, especially if you go to an ethnic place, you can't expect American culture in that restaurant. I'm looking at it like I'm going inside like the fucking what do you call it? Like a emissary, or like a like a ambassador.
I know what you're talking about. Yeah.
Wow, I forgot
the UN or whatever.
It's like I feel like as I open the door, I'm stepping foot into that country.
Yeah.
And whatever their rules go, they go there.
Yeah, because it's like I even read reviews. Like, I'm just bringing it back to Thai restaurants because I was just looking at a review for this place.
Yeah.
But somebody wrote, I ordered their papaya salad and it was completely inedible. It was way too hot. I'm like, bitch, it's fucking Thai food, bitch. It's Thai chilies. It's supposed to fucking burn your spirit. That's what that food is for. You can't tell somebody how spicy Thai food should be when you're not of that culture. That's what that food is. Everybody knows fucking. They call them fucking Satan dick peppers. Like,
right.
What did you
It's funny because they think their opinion is the right one.
Yeah.
Because I remember I was looking at one of these sushi restaurants. I think it was Nozawa's, or basically it was all nigiri.
Yeah.
Right? And then in one of the reviews, they're like, what kind of sushi restaurant doesn't have California rolls?
What the fuck? See, that's what I'm saying.
And I'm like, are you fucking dumb?
Yeah.
You go to Japan and order a California roll, they're gonna be like, what's that?
Yeah.
It's weird know what the fuck that is.
Like, I even read this place. So there's this joint out in K-Town called Boo's Philly Cheesesteak, and it's by this Korean American guy who started up a Philly cheesesteak joint because his dad wanted cheesesteaks because he's from Philly, but nobody had a good cheesesteak here, and that's how a lot of these restaurants pop up that are great. Yeah. They create stuff that they can't have that they want, and so they made a dope cheesesteak. And this lady wrote this review, and she was like, "I can't believe people eat at this place. It's just all cheese and meat, and it's grease. It's disgusting." And I'm like, "Bitch, that's a cheesesteak, bitch." That's exactly what a Philly cheesesteak is. That's what people like about it.
Cheap cheese whiz.
Yeah.
You know, what is she?
I was like, what the fuck did you expect? That's what a Philly cheesesteak is.
It's not for you.
Yeah, it's not for you. Yeah. That's what it is. It's not for you. That's it.
That's so funny, dude.
Like you can't complain.
But see, I think this is the thing. When it comes to music, right? Like we kind of have this where like you'll have I don't know, like you'll have like college age boys complaining about Justin Bieber or like teeny bopper music. And it's like, it's not for you, motherfucker. Why are you complaining? Like this is romantic music for the ladies or whatever.
Yeah.
But we don't have that for food.
Yeah.
Because food, we have this culture of we make it the way you like it. That's the American restaurant culture, right? Like customers king, customers always right. Service is good. Like it's all about, it's all about customization.
Yeah.
Hold the pickles. I want this. I want that. Add more mayo. That's the way I like my burger, right? And I think that, I call it Howley mentality. It's like they forget that outside of that, there's a whole lot more going on.
You know, a lot of people who go to Japan, they compare like Japanese service to American service. They go, when I go to Japan, they're super polite. Things are done this way, and we get our food like that. I was like, well, also in Japan too, they have that omakase style stuff. It's like,
and you don't customize shit in Japan.
That's why you get it fast. There's a system set for it.
Yeah, you fuck up the system, it makes things slow. Yeah.
So people don't understand that too. And then we also talk about stuff like, they go, well, in Japanese, they make a living wage, da 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 da. And I'm like, well, that's true too. But did you see the type of service that they give? So there's a balance to things, right? So if you want to work a part-time job like a dumbass, then you're going to get a dumbass's wage.
Yep.
But I'm pretty sure you're not having Japanese service, attention to detail, and doing the amount of responsibilities that they have. So they get paid according to their work ethic.
And they
stuff.
work
hard.
Damn, dude. They're doing the job of 3 people.
Yeah.
They do. It's sad. To me, I'm like, I don't want to work like that.
Did you eat horse with us in Japan?
No.
Yeah, so we were at so it was me, I think it was like me, Casey, and I think it was Ant too. So we went to this barbecue, Japanese barbecue joint. And when we walked in, I didn't realize it was horse until I looked at the diagrams. And I was like, yo, that fucking cow looks really skinny. You know? And I was like, oh shit, this is a horse restaurant.
Because you guys wanted Japanese barbecue?
Yeah. And so first of all, fucking delicious.
Yeah.
Horse meat is fucking good, dude. I need to be eating horse all the time. Fuck those animals. So that shit's bomb, dude. So we couldn't speak Japanese and she couldn't speak English. But I'm talking about her service was so on point. Every time she spoke, she kept saying sorry because she couldn't speak English. I'm like, I'm in Japan. You don't have to apologize for anything.
Yeah.
If anything, I should know how to speak Japanese.
Yeah.
But she was just like, sorry. I thought her neck was going to fucking fall off, dude. She kept on, sorry. So we were just doing the Google Translate and just asking her for what we wanted. But I was kind of shocked. I was like, damn, dude. Even when we're in their country speaking a foreign language, she's apologizing for not knowing how to speak my language.
Yeah.
That's fucking crazy, dude.
It's just, it's a difference in culture, right?
Yeah.
Like, I think in America, we feel that everybody should assimilate to us.
Yeah.
Because technically what makes you an American is a state of mind, not your race. So it's like, if you believe in the freedoms, you know, capitalism and those, at least those rules, I think that's what technically is an American, right? And then, so like when you come here, that's why I think a lot of people are like, oh, you should be more American, speak more English, do this. And there's a fine line because it's like, well, should we whitewash or should we hold on to some culture?
Yeah.
And that's where the debate is, right? But then I think there's so many immigrants coming in. It's like, we want them to become American. But for Japan, and it's a world where everyone caters to us. But in Japan, it's, you know you're Japanese, right? There's no like, and foreigners that are coming, you know they're coming to visit. They're not coming to stay. So what we're mainly taught is like, give the best, be the best host you can be. So it's you know, I think there's a lot of like, I bet like if you lived in a tourist world where if Americans felt like all these foreigners that are coming are just coming to visit and enjoy the culture, but not staying, it might change.
Oh, yeah.
It might be like, yeah, come on in, spend your money, have fun. Okay, bye.
Yeah.
I hope you had a great time here.
Yeah.
You know, because Japan and I think Iceland are like the 2 last ethno non-diverse country ever. They're like 90% Japanese or one race.
Yeah.
Yeah. So, and it's a service. It's like what do you call it? Like it's a people first kind of culture, right? So it's like you think of others first. That's how you become a better human being, not yourself. I think out here, it's all about, it's a little more selfish compared to that. It's all about independent thinking. What are my rights? My thoughts.
Yeah.
You cultivate my freedom. It's all my thoughts. But out there, it's more like, oh, we have a guest. How can I make it the most comfortable as possible?
Yeah.
Yeah. And then she's like, fuck, man, I took English classes. I know I could have done better.
Because you were telling me too, when you were in Japan with Jess, Jess felt really weird wearing the kimono.
Yeah.
But it was an area where everybody was wearing that shit. And that was like something that people want tourists to wear.
Yeah, she didn't want to take the pictures because she felt weird as a white woman, like wearing cultural things.
Yeah.
Because I think it's hella sensitive in America, right? Like, like, I don't know, like she's like, fuck, how are other Asians gonna feel about it? I feel uncomfortable. And I'm like, look, you're fucking beautiful wearing that thing. My mom is the one that wants to put you in that outfit.
Yeah.
Because my mom never had a daughter. She always wanted a daughter. And
she got 2 boys. Like,
yeah,
fuck.
she got 2 boys. And then the reason why she wanted to put Jess in a kimono is because it's like a mother-daughter thing that you do when a girl turns a woman. So it's like a Japanese quinceañera, right? When a woman, I think it's in her 20s or something.
Yeah.
But when she becomes a certain age, the cut of the kimono changes.
Oh.
And then so the mom and the daughter go together. And back in the day, it was like the mom would like buy this outfit for her. And it was like a big thing. Like you're becoming a woman now, So like, and now the way that they do it in Japan is like at that age, like girls, they wear that kimono. Now you could wear the kimono with a long sleeve or whatever. And then you take pictures and then like you kind of memorize that moment. So she wanted to do that with Jess. And then so I was like telling Jess, this is a special thing for her, and it's nothing to worry about. And if you walk around on the streets, like Japanese people love it when you celebrate their culture. They don't go like, man, why the fuck are you making a mockery of us?
Yeah.
They're like, come along, black people, white people, everybody come over, wear our clothes, drink our drinks and eat our food.
And it's not like Jess is wearing the kimono in Japan, talking to Japanese people about what it should mean to them.
No. Yeah.
It has a very different narrative. It's not her wearing it to tell people like, oh, I'm Japanese and I'm gonna teach you about Japanese culture. It's like, no, this is a tourist thing to do, and they want you to experience this part of Japan.
And I don't blame her for her like insecurity for that.
Of course, I think American media definitely fucked up her.
Yeah. And then they make white people afraid to enjoy culture sometimes.
Yeah.
And I'm like, damn, that sucks, man.
Like that girl with the Chinese dress when she was on Twitter. Right?
Yeah, dude, she looked so pretty in that dress. And that fucking dumbass Asian kid was like, my culture is not your costume.
You fucking nerd. Shut the fuck up, dude.
I know. I hate fools like that.
And it's so stupid, too, because, like, I mean, they even went back into his tweets and he was dropping N-bombs like a motherfucker, dude. So who the fuck are you piece of trash? And then on top of that, did you hear like Chinese press? They're like, what's the problem?
Right?
They were like, what's the fucking problem? I don't get it.
And that's the kind of shit that makes Asian Americans look stupid.
Yeah.
When stupid fuckers like that are out there, like they're fucking dumb as hell. And then they're like trying to champion some type of like message.
Yeah.
There was this one Filipino girl, right? Like Ubisoft or whatever.
Yeah.
They were coming out with this game, and there was this white guy doing taiko drums, right? But the funny thing is, so this bitch, of course, was mad. She was like, why couldn't they find a Japanese, like authentic guy doing taiko drums, right? This bitch is so stupid. This white guy is a actual musician in Japan who studied this for over like 30 years.
Yeah.
And he's celebrated in Japan because like
he's like the hot guy to do it. He's hot.
Good.
Yeah.
Yeah. And then she's like, oh my God, I couldn't believe they couldn't find a Japanese person to do that. I'm like, Japanese people don't even fucking care.
Yeah.
Like I don't care.
Yeah.
Like to me, I'm like, who cares?
Yeah.
That's not the problem. The problem is when you have a Japanese story and then like you have to like put a white guy in it.
And you're Filipino, bitch. What the fuck?
I know she fucking.
That's so fucking wild.
Right? But I mean, there are whitewashing of things.
Yeah.
It happens. So these idiots don't know what to look for.
Yeah.
But like, don't point the finger at the people that are on our side.
And you know what's kind of crazy? You know, especially with that Chinese dress thing, right? Like I've seen that dress be worn by plenty of people in my high school, dude.
Black people, Mexicans,
people.
whatever.
Yo, I don't know how many fucking black girls you know named China, but I know a lot of black girls named China or Asia.
Yeah.
Like their name, that's like a common black girl name, like Asia.
Yeah.
Like what the fuck? Like, you know, so it never really bothered me. And there was a hot minute in the 2000s where every chick was putting chopsticks in their hair.
Yeah.
That shit was huge. It didn't bother me. It didn't make me think. I'm like, okay, I don't know why you would eat your food with that and put it in your hair, but all right. It's what it is, you know? But it never really bothered me. And I understand, you know, people not wanting somebody to take something from their culture and take credit from it. Like I kind of get it. I do.
Yeah.
But I also see it as we're fucking America, dude. Like
it's a melting pot.
It's a melting pot like a motherfucker.
Yeah.
Isn't out of everywhere that is supposed to happen in this world, don't you think it would happen here?
Right.
Like we're all like a mix of all these different cultures and we're picking and choosing from each other all the fucking time.
Yeah. I only care if they're authentically celebrating shit.
Yeah.
Or they're just being an idiot and mimicking. Like, so for example, like the taiko drum guy or you know, the Ivar ramen or whatever.
Oh yeah, Ivan. Yeah,
Ivan ramen, or like people that even if they fetishize Asian shit, if they did the work and they studied it for 40 years and they love it to death, there is that freedom too.
I think so, dude.
You know, like who the fuck cares? Let them do it.
Dude, Ivan Orkin, that motherfucker, dude, he married a Japanese woman, opened up a popular Japanese restaurant in Japan, and he speaks Japanese and has fucking Japanese kids. What the fuck do you want from him, dude?
Yeah.
Like, what else do you want from this guy now?
I don't care if because it takes people like that to bridge the culture together.
Yeah.
You know?
And it's so funny too, because I remember watching his stuff on Netflix, and in the docuseries, like his final statement was, he goes, a lot of people are telling me that, you know, I hear some stuff where they might say like, this isn't authentic ramen. He goes, well, why don't you open up a fucking restaurant in Japan? He goes, then you come talk to me.
Yeah.
I'm like, oh,
that's
shit.
gangsta.
It's true though.
Yeah.
It's like, well, how are you an authority about a food that you've never made, created, apprenticed under, or anything? But I've done the work and I'm creating this dish out of respect. And then now you're telling me just because you're Asian that you know what a better a bowl of ramen is because of the color of your skin.
Yep.
Like, that doesn't make sense to me.
Yeah, I
you
know.
I see this dude, he did the work, he did the
It's
apprenticeship.
racist to think that someone that isn't of that culture can make it good.
Oh yeah, 100%. Even when that whole pho thing happened, right? The guy who did the whole pho.
That was so funny.
People were so mad. And then, you know, I got a little bit of flack because I defended the guy, because if, let's say that dude wasn't white, right? And he was a Vietnamese guy. Everybody would have been like, yeah, that's how you really eat Vietnamese food. That's how you're supposed to do it, son. But all they saw was the color of his skin, and they go, he can't say that shit. I'm like, but it's not like he was off. Like, even when I eat a bowl of pho, I don't put like a bunch of fucking hoisin and sriracha in that shit first. I taste that shit first.
Yeah, I taste the broth first.
That's how I was told to do it anyways. Yeah. So it's like, oh, well, I relate to guys. Oh, I fuck with this guy. Like, he knows what's up.
I think what people don't want is, people don't know anything about Vietnamese people already, right? So they don't want the white guy to speak for them.
Yeah.
Because there's plenty of Vietnamese Americans. I get that. But people also have to understand that it takes these brave white people to first care about it, to talk to their other white people.
Yeah.
And then the more people get into it, they'll get into the true shit.
Yeah.
Like, that's what happened to sushi.
Oh,
you know?
yeah.
Everybody in the 80s was like, ooh, sushi, raw fish, gross.
Yeah.
Now it's like the most fucking expensive thing. Now it's like high society food. You know, all the richest and famous white people want to fucking eat it. But it wasn't always like that, right? But it's like, you got to understand the evolution of how things get to where they are. You can't be like, no. Like, it has to be us all the time.
There's just also this kind of like this level of fucking snobbery with food sometimes too, you know? Like, because we eat at a lot of like dope restaurants, specifically because we live in LA.
Yeah.
But that doesn't mean I'm not gonna have a McDonald's soft serve. You know.
I know, right?
Like people talk about food that they've eaten their whole lives, like it's trash now because now they're elevated in their food. Like, yo, chill. Like, calm the fuck down. Like, I'll make like
fucking edgelord underground motherfuckers.
Yeah. Like, I'll cook like a dope meal, right? But then I guarantee you, when you guys eat the food that I make, I'm eating a bowl of kimchi and rice. You know?
Me too.
Like, I'm like, this is good, you know?
Yeah.
So, there's snobbery to that shit.
It's like, you like what you like, man.
Yeah.
Like, I love a good fast food taco sometimes.
Yeah.
It's like, who the fuck cares? Like, do you only eat at fucking fancy restaurants? Because if you do, then you don't really know food.
Dude, perception is so fucking skewed because, when we went to Vegas, we ate at that Gordon Ramsay burger joint, and that shit was not fucking good. It's even in the Yelp reviews, right? But all they saw in that video was me making fun of this burger. And it's a comedian's channel too, by the way. And I didn't like the burger. And they're like, oh, what the fuck do you know about food? Did you fucking eat the burger, bitch? Did you fucking eat the burger? Like, dude, if you didn't eat the burger, then you don't have a say in this shit. I'm just telling you what I feel about it. You know what I mean?
I don't believe in Michelin star ratings anymore. I ate at 3 restaurants with over 2-star. One was an actual 3-star Michelin rating. All of them suck dick. I was you went to that. I went to one in France. No, I went to 2 in France. The second one wasn't so bad. I went to Joel Robuchon in Vegas.
It wasn't good.
No, I paid almost $300. I swear to you, I try to stay optimistic because of how much I paid. I was like, the bread is awesome, the water's delicious. I got my main entree, which was salted beef cheeks. At the end of all this shit, I was like just lying to myself because of how much I paid. So you're right.
How much did you guys spend?
Close to $300.
Fuck.
So I'm saying perception is true.
Yeah.
What the way that it all comes out. But when I look back, the more I started to hate what I was like thinking. Because I'm like, no, it didn't taste good. Why did I say that? It's because I paid a lot of money.
Man, people, like, I don't know if people can even wrap their head around this. And I think, and what I mean by people, I'm talking about people who are food snobs. I feel like these food snobs can't even wrap their head around this. Like, I say, like, have you had sturgeon caviar before? They go, oh, fucking amazing. I'm like, really? Out of all the things that you've eaten, this fish. Now, I've had sturgeon caviar, right?
Yeah.
It's good. It's a salty fish ball.
Yeah.
You eat that and you're like, one of the best things I've ever eaten. Really, bro?
One of the best things.
Yeah, if you never saw that on Gordon Ramsay talking about it or some high chef and you just saw this plate of black balls and you ate that shit, would you eat that and be like, whoa, this is fucking crazy?
I bet you it's one of those things like natto. You gotta be you gotta build it, right?
I understand. It's good. Like, I think it tastes good. But I guarantee you, objectively speaking, this salty ball of salt water that you're eating is not the best thing you've ever eaten. Even truffle, the concept of truffle, right?
Yeah.
It's because it's an expensive thing. You see it on every fucking cooking show, right?
Yeah.
But people eat anything with truffle oil and they're like, that truffle oil though. What? What about it? It's just
I like truffle.
Yeah, it's good, but is it the most amazing
not.
thing? I could live without it.
I don't like, I mean, to me, truffle's meant to be subtle.
Yeah.
Like, it's not meant to be like in like so much. Some people like a lot of truffle, but
Like,
not me.
Like, it's just some weird, and it's okay. Like, if you have truffle too and you say, I don't like it, it's okay. Nothing's wrong with your taste buds.
Yeah.
You just you don't fuck with it. That's all that it is.
That's very true.
Yeah. Like, when I say like, oh, you don't like this, you're trash. It's a joke. Like, I don't actually think that person's trash, but people take it too seriously now. Like, oh my God, you don't like fucking sushi. You don't like raw fish. You're fucking, your palate's not elevated. Or they just don't like it.
Yeah.
Or they just don't like it.
Yeah.
Is what it is.
And a lot of people can't break down why something is good.
Yeah.
Because I feel like the better you are as an artist, you can break down the reasons for why you like this sensation. Because it's all a sensation, right? It's like, oh, I like the texture.
Yeah.
Or, oh, I like this kind of taste. Like, I like crunchy textures or whatever it is, right? And a lot of food snobs, have you noticed? They don't cook.
Yeah.
They don't fucking cook, dude. They just go around eating, fucking talking, but they don't know what the fuck they're talking about. To me, they remind me of those fake art snobs that walk around contemporary art museums and talk about the artist's motivation and this and that. And I'm just like, but you motherfuckers don't even paint either.
Yo, if there's a food snob, the thing I want to do too is like, we got to start that fucking food app. Like,
let's do it, dude. Oh my God.
We want to start this fucking food app. It's like Yelp, where you could rate these restaurants or businesses, but there's open communication for the users to talk shit to each other too.
Yes.
And they get to up and down vote whatever the fuck they say.
I think it's good.
Yeah, because there has to be that type of communication, because it's not fair that the restaurant just sits there and gets beat down.
Yeah, it's really not.
Yeah, it's not fair. People should be able to open communicate, because even like the YouTube comments are fucking cancer. But I wouldn't take it away because
you learn a lot. Actually, yeah, you do.
There needs to be that open type of communication too. And I feel like too, if you're, and I have this, I want to put this thing like if you're using the app and you have over 1,000 reviews on it, you're just labeled as a loser. Like, it just says you get the fucking loser tag. That's what you get.
Dude, we got to do it, man.
I really do want that, man.
I want to do it. I'd fucking promote the fuck out of it. Cause I want to get recommended to a place because it tastes good. Yeah. That's all I fucking care about.
There should be a separate. We're thinking about like having a separate review rating too. So it's not like this cumulative like 3 or 4 star score.
No, it's like per thing, ambiance for or place,
food serving, like service,
food service. Like, do they talk to you, whatever? Because I don't give a fuck about food service.
Yeah, so
as long as they're not mean.
Yeah, so it's about like you being able to judge a place for the rating that you care about the most.
Yeah.
So it's like I care about this place because the fucking food is amazing. The service is trash, but I don't really give a fuck. I just want to eat that food.
Yeah.
And a lot of these restaurants do have that quality where service is not on point. Like specifically, mom and pop stores.
A lot of Chinese restaurants.
Yeah.
Because it's just service is different in their culture.
Yeah.
Which to me, I got used to because I grew up in a Chinese neighborhood.
Yeah.
So it's just different.
Yeah, and people writing reviews too, they go, oh, I would give it like a 3.8 out of 3.5 maybe, but I gave it a 3 instead of this. Well, why don't we do it separately where it's you give them a 5 for the food, you give them the 3 for the service, and the whatever the 1 for the cleanliness because it's a Chinese restaurant. You know, and people could decide whether they want to go to it or not. That's what I think, anyways.
Oh yeah, I love Chinese food, man. It's so good. See, I think they cut to the chase. They're like, does it taste good? Yes, let's do it.
Move on.
Yeah. Does it look good? Fuck no, but it tastes good.
No. You want some butt ankle soup?
Yeah. I know that cowhead, the eyeballs looking at you, but that's good luck.
Oh shit, it's an hour in.
All right.
There we go, guys. Well, that fucking concludes another episode of the Genius Brain Podcast. Remember, everybody, if you guys want to catch us, Thursday and Sundays are the upload days. You can catch us on Castbox, iTunes, Stitcher, fucking Spotify, wherever you want. Remember, we're a podcast that's just about conversation and just having fun. So take us along with your days. Joe will be on here as soon as possible every Thursday. So it's going to be me and Joe's section on Thursdays.
And so leave a comment down below on anything you guys want us to talk about, because we read all the comments and we go based off of what is highly requested.
Yeah, the podcast will be moving to a different room soon, so it's probably going to look a little different. But other than that, man, thank you for your support. We've been getting sponsors now, so trying to make sure that I don't got to suck dick for a living. Thank you very much for that. Appreciate it. You guys care. So
toodaloo, mother assholes.
Peace.